This is probably one of the baddest street Mustangs in the country. Here's the old girl. And this was Dan TRC's Evo. I mean, I think it's safe to say it's probably the fastest street Evo 9 probably in the world. I mean, this setup works. Like this is, this setup's the truth. Bruh. What's up guys, Javier from That Racing Channel. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're at RSA Race Solutions and we're here to check out some of the fastest street Mustangs in the country. One of the cars that we're checking out today makes around 2,000 wheel horsepower and they're able to put the power down on the street. These cars are capable of doing low threes, 60 to 130, and they've thrown down quite a bit on the street and they've proven how badass these things are. Let's go check it out. CJ. What's up, my man?
Welcome back.
Good to see you again.
Always good, brother, always good.
Back for some fun with some super fast Coyotes.
Yeah, today will be the fun day, you know what I mean? Welcome back to RSA. Gonna have a little bit of antics today, as we like to say.
Heck yeah, man, that's what we're all about, fast stuff. And you guys got some fast stuff. I think the white car is one of the main features for today. We got a couple really cool stuff here. You guys build a lot of really cool stuff, but that car makes what, 2,000 horsepower, full street car?
Yeah, I mean, upwards of 2,000, downwards of 2,000. In Miami, we like to say a Miami 1,000. So let's just say it's a Miami 1,000, but yeah, 2,000 horsepower street car.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Coyote technology now is just nuts. This is the car that actually got me into the Mustang game. I bought this car as a joke with a friend of mine. Pre-COVID, that's when things were reasonable. And it just ended up being absolutely nuts, especially when you do some research into just how badass this platform is, you know what I mean?
Where the turbos at?
Remote mount.
You're like, what turbos?
Yeah, exactly. Turbos in the back. This car currently has 68mm HPTs on there. Loving those. The new technology from them has been absolutely great. The heart of the beast is an FFRE Gen 3 Coyote. This is the way to go. As you know, with your truck, FFRE the king.
Yeah, the Coyote world's on fire right now.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, for a motor this small to be reliable at this power is just wild. This is my...
That's like stock crank.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Stock block, right? Like yeah, the cast.
It's nuts. Like when you actually have a good setup car, a good tuner, and an amazing engine builder like FFRE, the things that can happen are just like limitless. Absolutely limitless. This is my second motor from them. The first motor, when I sent it back to Joe, he looked at it and was shocked how good it looked, considering the absolute abuse.
And you had a lot of passes on that one?
Oh yeah. So stay right here, I'll show you. So every one of my cars has a book. This book, white privilege on it, because we call this car white privilege because, you know, I'm this color skin tone. This is the fourth book of the car. It first started out as a legal pad, and then we've had 3 of these notepads. So, and I'm halfway done through this one.
Oh my gosh, for all the passes.
All the passes. Every single hit this car has ever made is in this book.
So what, like surface, temperature of the day, the DA?
Everything. How the car reacted. Basically, also at the back of the car, suspension-wise, I reset O-rings and everything. So after the passes, I can tell how much this car compressed, everything like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super
so you
important.
got a lot of data.
Yeah, super important when you want to win races. You know what I mean?
For sure. So this is like, the internals in the FFRE build, is it like their usual like Manly, Manly deal piston
It's our Manly Diamond I-beam stuff, and it just works. It's just one of those things that it just works. It's really hard for me to recommend anyone else other than them because of just how good it works. I mean, if you sneak over, it's like boom. We've got a couple more FFRE motors there. Like, you go around my shop, everything's gonna have an FFRE motor in it. Like, it's just how it is.
They're the ones to go to, man. They're the ones to go to. What size turbos again, you said?
68 millimeters.
68 millimeters, okay. So those make, how much boost does it take to make the 2000?
Just under 40. The public dyno we've showed at 33 pounds, it made 1750.
Man, that's super efficient. 33 pounds, 1750, that's wild.
It works out well. It works out well. And the Coyotes like to sing. This car, we can shift it at 84 to 86 and it'll rev to 94, no problem.
Wow.
Like
9,400 RPM.
Yeah, when it sees everything, it likes to sing at like 9,000. It's kind of nuts.
I mean, that's one thing. When you got some extra cubes, you know, that's like import territory, right?
Exactly.
But when you got some extra cubes and the RPM, that's where the magic happens.
It's wild. I mean, that thing back there revs to 10 grand, and the fact that this is so big and it's pretty close is nuts.
twice the engine and
with a steel rod.
Up the RPM with a steel rod. Yeah,
with a steel rod.
Man. So how much of that power can you actually? So I think this one you said we can take for a spin today.
Yeah, we'll go for a ride on this.
So how much of that power can you like realistically put down on like an asphalt surface, or because we got asphalt here, right? So we don't have concrete. But realistically, what have you with your testing?
On the asphalt stuff, somewhere around 17 to 1800 horsepower, I'll get tire shake. That's the scary part.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna think like 1500-ish.
Oh no,
that's wild.
You just have to do it in the right way, and the book helps a lot. The book helps a lot. Like that data helps a lot. I control the car boost wise with an AMS 2000. Gives me all the control I need, and I can read the surface. Not every surface is equal, but somewhere in that 1800 horsepower range is kind of where I'm seeing the
sweet
limit.
Spot.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. That's like no traction control, essentially. I mean, essentially you're just dialing in like boost by speed or something?
Yeah,
or?
Boost by speed, and then I have acceleration targets based on the G meter. So basically, if the car reads something is not accelerating a certain way, it can add, reduce boost, just kind of stay on track. Kind of like how a standalone will follow a drive line, a drive shaft plot. I do my best to be as similar to that as possible.
That's pretty nutty, dude.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's pretty nutty, man. So this thing has gone publicly, because you have some fun in Mexico with this thing.
Yes.
It's gone like mid to low threes? Or
yeah, publicly I've gone a 3.4, but I've raced cars that have done 3.3s, and the results speak for themselves, so.
So you put a couple Mexico bus lengths on a couple cars that are fast.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically like a read between the lines, do the math type deal.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things.
100%. This thing sounds absolutely menacing. Wild, dude. You guys, cockpit shot. Basically a stock Mustang. This thing sounds wild. Hialeah stock with a cam. Cam only, bro. Thing looks badass. All right, boys, let's go for a spin. All right, boys, going for a spin. Ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready for this. This is probably one of the baddest street Mustangs in the country. So far, this thing drives pretty much like a factory Mustang. Like, it doesn't seem like there's much compromise at all.
Oh, that's why I love the 10-speed is I could actually cruise at 100 mile an hour at like 1800 RPM, and it's like perfect.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you basically use all the gears up to 7th, is it? Or?
Up to 6.
Up to 6.
So with the 10 speeds, you shift in the 7th, kabloom. That's pretty much how it is.
So do you lock that gear out in the tune or something?
Exactly. Okay. That's exactly what happens.
But it shifts past 7th when normal driving, or do you also, okay.
During normal driving.
So some tune magic to get it to not shift.
Yeah.
So you're basically just revving the piss out of 6th gear.
Yeah, exactly. But I've had people come to me and say, hey, my car is not working in 8th gear. And I'm like, how fast are you going to be in 8th gear? Like, what are you, like, are you doing 200 mile an hour? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. So basically, this is set up boost by speed. So you can mat at what, 40 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour? Like, at what point will this car spin from a roll?
If it spins from a roll, I essentially choose for it to spin. like, because I'm adding too much power.
Yeah.
I can mat it at 20 mile an hour and it'll be fine.
So like if you hit it at 40,
it'll hook.
it's gonna hook.
Yeah, it'll hook. It'll hook.
So it's not like oh, I need to call people out from like an 80 roll.
Yeah, no. It's just that it's a compromise because there's only mathematically so much power I can put down at a 40.
So you're maybe at the hit, it's what, wastegate or what?
Yeah, it'll be like 8 pounds if it's from a 40 in second gear because the gearing has a lot.
And then it ramps in as it'll take more traction.
Yeah.
Cool. This thing sounds incredibly cool.
Yeah, the turbos sound nuts.
All you hear is turbos, this thing. Turbo spool and just partial throttle.
Here, we'll do a little hit here. You good?
Yep. Dude, holy yo, this thing just starts to absolutely truck. Like on the hit, I'm like, okay, and then it's like another gear, and I'm like, oh, and then another that next gear, I don't know whatever gear that was. I think there was like the third, whatever that third gear was. That adds like 400 horsepower. Oh my god, dude! From where this is, there's probably a ton left in it.
Oh yeah. So there we're on map 1. That map will work on any street anywhere. It should do a 3.8, 3.0, 100, 150.
That's
like
wild.
It should work on any asphalt road you could go to.
Dude, this thing starts trucking up top. It didn't feel sketchy.
No, it's planted. It's
very
planted.
It didn't feel sketchy at all.
I'll lay into it.
Oh my god, dude. Once it's just every gear, it's just horsepower, just adding horsepower. That's a wild ride, dude.
And then now we're cruising at 9th gear at 2,000 RPM. That's one of the reasons I can't wait for the truck, because as you see, the 10-speed just goes click, 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 click.
Like if you're like, man, I don't want to lose this race, you have another 300-400 on tap.
I've got another 500. So basically, I mean, now we're in the car, I'll say it, full kill, the car is 42 pounds of boost.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's 42 pounds of boost. It'll see.
So over 100 miles an hour, you could probably start getting into that.
Well, yeah, so full on concrete, the current map I have is 34 pounds at 98 mile an hour. So say I were to go to Gandy Bridge in Bradenton, Tampa, it'll see close to 16, 17 at 98, and then it'll see all of it by a 112, 114.
Wow.
But it just works. It just works. That's why the book is so important.
Yeah, 100%. I can tell this thing's just 100% dialed, dude.
Yeah. And you have to be, because if you're not, cars are so fast nowadays, you'll lose the race. So anyone comes unexpecting to a car like this, and you're going to see 50, 100 all day, every day.
So have you raced anything like, you've probably beat a lot of like rear-wheel drive stuff. Have you raced any fast like all-wheel drive stuff with this?
Yes, yeah, I have. There's been some controversial races with me in a certain blue GTR. He's absolutely insanely fast, but so am I. So the thing with a Mustang, with a rear-wheel drive car versus an all-wheel drive car, especially like this car, if I can stay with you on the hit, I have a really good chance to win, because the back half of this car is absolutely
It's silly. I mean, I feel it. That's a testament to this, is like, this thing up top just trucks.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So this thing in the quarter mile has been, you said, I think over 180?
Yeah. So with the old setup, it went 181 with a 1.660 foot. Just me going and flooring it. I never really liked the track stuff with this car, because the track stuff you got to go and wait and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like street build.
Exactly. So the one day we went, I just foot braked it, floored it, did a 1.660 foot with 181, and I was like, okay, this thing works. And that was with a lot less power than it is now.
Really?
Yeah, a lot less power than it is.
Dude, that's sick. Hell yeah, man. All right, so at this power level, how is the trans living? I know that's a big thing with these things.
It's a huge thing with these things, and it's something we actually specialize in. This car's got what we call the 5000R, which is my Mac Daddy trans. Essentially, they last almost forever. First time we built one of these, it lasted 172 passes, something like that. It was absolutely nuts.
At what power level?
Somewhere between the 14 and 1500 horsepower power level. What you have to do with these transmissions is essentially maintenance. Anywhere between 20 and 40 passes, the valve bodies start acting up. So time to change valve body, change fluid. But essentially the clutch packs are great with this particular build. This is same type of build your truck's getting.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's something that we've put an insane amount of R&D into, and it's a cornerstone of actually the business here at RSA. I mean, just today, you've seen we've done 4 transmissions. You know what I mean? They get sent out to all over.
You guys are pumping out those transmissions.
Yeah. It's something that's pretty cool. It's something that's pretty cool. I'm really happy to let everything trickle down research-wise to the customer. As long as you install it, maintain it, and you have a good tune, it's the way to go. It's an overdrive transmission that performs, and for the price, it's like, man, you can't beat it.
Let's go around to the side here. This thing has a massive tire on it. This is a serious tire. So what is it, a 315 or something? Or?
Yeah, it's a 315 60/15.
Jeez, look at that.
We've gone through some testing with these things. I would say with this car, that is the #1 maintenance item, is tire.
Oh, for sure. I imagine you probably get 15 passes or something and you're swapping tires.
Exactly. It helps when you swap them left to right a bit, but I'd say like 25 passes, max. Big important thing, recent change that we've done to the car, we went to the aerospace brakes in the front and the rear. I called up aerospace and let them know the problem I was having. And the problem I was having was brake fade and confidence in the brakes, you know what I mean? When you brake boost the car, brakes get hot, and then you slam on the brakes at 180 mile an hour, you want it to stop.
Here's the old girl, one of the other TRC. So we had a TRC sequential Evo that everybody knows for over a decade, been on the channel. And this was Dan TRC's Evo. That was an H pattern car. I mean, I think it's safe to say it's probably the fastest street Evo 9 probably in the world, you know, when it comes to like actual times.
Hands down, dude, hands down. So I think the fastest or the closest competition is gonna be the Koval Evo. That's in Australia. That thing is like nuts, absolutely amazing. But I'm pretty sure I've gone faster from a roll and I do it on the street. So
like trap speed, this thing's been 185.
Yeah, it's been 185 in the past, and it's just the epitome of like what a max effort street car can be, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all over the channel, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So 185, that's like a rolling trap speed.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Evos, like race car Evos have been faster
100%.
in the quarter mile,
100%,
right? Like
100%.
this being a full street car, right? I think holds that record, so.
Like just like when it was last on the channel, it's got the full interior. Now it's got a KDN shifter. A little things different here and there, but essentially the same badass car, dude.
So since last time we saw it, it looks like put on a carbon hood and a carbon trunk. Last time it had the stock stuff. Still the same setup, right?
Yeah, still the same setup.
I mean, this setup works. Like this is.
Oh, it's efficient.
This setup's the truth.
It is efficient. It works. It parties.
Revs to 10,000. What? 60 pounds of boost.
Yeah, 65. Actually, for the first time, the car saw cold weather last year at TX2K, and it saw like 72 pounds of boost. I thought I was on a bike. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Evos of all time, without a doubt. This changed my life when I rode in it, when Dan finished building it way back in the day. It's much faster than it was when I rode in it, and it's just a different experience. It's literally like, you just said it, it's like you're on a motorcycle or something, right? Like
100%.
It just goes through the gears so fast, and like just the way like the gearing with how the turbo comes on and the high RPM and like all that's just magic.
It's one of those things where if you were to look on paper and say, oh wow, well this car made 1,500 or this car weighs this or this car does that, this car won't have the highest horsepower, it's not the lightest car, but the way this setup is so efficient and it works so well, it goes A to B faster than most cars that should be faster on paper. 100%. And then
like in a street race, this car's probably gonna hit 170 before most of the stuff on the street.
100%.
You know?
And this car isn't a draggy queen. If you see a car, a lot of times you'll see a car, I'm like, oh, look at that amazing draggy number, but when it races, it doesn't do anything near that. This thing does exactly what it draggies while it's racing.
Show the interior here. God, it's so clean. And I'm pretty sure this is a pretty low mile car too. Pretty simple stuff. Still got the back seats and everything. Got the tillets, KDN shifter. Love this thing. So not only do you have the 2,000 horsepower, like max effort street car stuff. I see a newer Mustang, right? This is a, what, a 23?
Yeah, this is a 23. This is my very first supercharged car, and I love it. You guys are gonna love it too. This thing is an absolute beast. It's a stock motor car. I wanted to build something that I could show to customers and say, hey, this is what you should do if you want to build a pro charge car, where the only thing you're gonna have to do after this is get a motor. Try and bundle things together so that it's very economical, but the proper way to do it. The most expensive thing you can do is try too hard to save money, and this is an example of the complete opposite of that. Is, hey, you spend it right the first time and you get a badass product.
And you end up saving money in the long run.
It's
100%.
Unfortunately, you only learn that like after like 2 or 3 builds, and you're like, oh man, what
We've all done it, right?
Yeah,
We've all done it.
All of us. You look at 2 things and you're like, oh.
So this is like a max effort stock motor type
This
deal.
is a max effort stock motor deal. It runs 3/8 in the 60 to 130 on the street.
What?
For a stock
Hold
motor
up.
car.
Stock motor, stock
Yeah.
trans, or built trans?
Oh, built trans, yeah.
That's wild.
We know I built trans here, so this has our Stage 2 Plus in it,
Okay.
and it's been singing, like absolutely singing.
That's nuts, dude. So that's fast. I mean, to give people perspective, like the old TRC sequential Evo goes like probably 4.0, you know, maybe on a good day,
The
like
legend.
a 3.9
I
or
love
something,
that car,
right?
dude, yeah.
And that's wild. Just like stock motor Mustang these days on a tire, it's so easy to make power. So this thing probably makes what, over 1,000, obviously.
Yeah, I would say 1,100. I would say 1,100. I keep it at 21 pounds because it's a stock motor. Don't recommend you guys going to 21 pounds, by the way. Keep it like 19 under. But yeah, this car lives at 21 pounds. The reason it's able to live and work so efficiently is the actual setup itself. Let me pop the hood and I'll show you guys this too.
So basically for like a customer build, you wouldn't recommend they go 1,100 horsepower stock motor. Obviously that's probably a little dicey.
With the supercharger, that 1,100 could be a little bit dicey. Turbo car, live there all day, depending if you know what you're doing. So actually just next door, we have the car I call 850 horsepower King. That car runs 3.7s on asphalt, stock motor, turbo car. That thing just rolls out.
Okay, so this is a Pro Charger.
Yeah, Pro Charger. So we actually have a really big blower. It's an F1A 94.
Okay.
This thing could make 1,800 horsepower basically. But the way this car's set up and the reason it works the way it works is that we have this blower pulley to make 40 pounds of boost at 4,000 RPM. 40 pounds of boost, the rods will go everywhere in this car. So on the hot side, we have an E-gate that regulates boost. And I have a FuelTech F550 in the car that helps me do that. So basically, I was looking for a way to bundle everything together to make it the most economical, and it ended up being that FuelTech was a great option because the FuelTech controls the fuel system, the E-gate, a lot of different things in the car that you can just bundle into that system for one individual price. And so by regulating boost on the hot side, it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I cannot wait to go for a ride. I mean, it's not only has it been like a good while since I've been in a Pro Charge car, period, but I've never been in a Pro Charge Coyote, so that'd be a cool experience.
Oh, it's the way they work with a 10-speed is magical. Like absolutely magical. Like, and this car's like the white car, I could take it to a parking lot or a car show and nobody thinks anything of it unless they know what the car is. This thing, I pull up, all the little kids are like, oh my God. Because you know, Pro Chargers are just so emotional.
Yeah.
Doing all that type of noise, so.
Speaking of, fire that thing up, dude.
All right, yeah.
Let's hear it. You guys, this thing's on a tire too. Whew. God damn. It's wild. You can hear the exhaust difference between the turbo car and the Pro Charge car.
Oh yeah, all day.
Oh man, listen to that. You gotta love the sound of a Pro Charger.
Oh, it's emotional. Like the blower cars, they do it. They really do it.
All right, boys, now we're in the stock motor deal. Stock motor, max effort, bad boy. This one's significantly louder. You got the turbos in the other one that quiet it down quite a bit, you know? But this thing's spicy.
Yeah, it lets the federales know you're coming. So yeah, like I was saying before, just in drive, downshift, move like it forward, then just.
Bruh. thing gets it. Holy shit. Oh my God. This thing was hazing him on the hit. You can tell the torque, it has so much more torque on the hit. Like, it's got to. I mean, at least my butt dyno. Maybe on paper it doesn't, but...
No, it does. It feels that way. On paper it doesn't, but the butt dyno gives it to you like, eh.
Yo, like, this thing gets, this is a stock motor.
Rowdy, right?
This is a stock motor.
Rowdy.
Oh, this is mind-blowing, dude. Like, the other car was stupid. Like, just stupid. But I almost feel like to me, like, something like this is almost like just as or more impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a fucking bone stock motor.
No, this is the setup where the guy who's never had a 1,000 horsepower car, this is it for him.
Like, this is it, dude.
This is it. It's the emotion.
If I could just wake up every day and on my way to work, just do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? On ramp, little squeeze, get the blood pumping, and it'll probably do it like every day.
Every single time. Every single time.
Got the fuel tech here. It's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen another like Mustang running fuel tech. I mean, I know a lot of like race cars and probably, but
yeah, it's still factory ECU for the tuning. The fuel tech controls the e-gate and the fuel system.
Oh, okay. So it's not like full standalone.
No, it's not. No,
okay.
No, it's not.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it has an e-gate, it gives it so much versatility. That's what the fuel tech controls.
That's
and their
cool.
software is awesome.
This is rowdy, dude. This is rowdy, dude.
It's crazy because you're going so much slower, but it feels like you're going to the moon.
Well, you know what? It's like part of like the sensory experience too. It's so much louder.
Yes.
So like it's so much louder, and like my feet are vibrating, right? It's like probably open dump or I don't know wherever the exhaust is, and it's just like a different experience. But you're right. We're going significantly slower.
I mean, granted, you're still faster than 95% of the guys.
100%. We're in like the pinnacle of like a street car Mustang, right? And now this is still like max effort stock motor. Like it's insane, dude.
Yeah, so I mean,
insane.
This car, it won't do a 3.8 everywhere, but it'll do a 3.9 60 to 130, just smacking on it everywhere.
That's insane.
And so
that's stupid fast.
It's awesome. It's
like
awesome.
Stupid fast.
The technology has got us to a place where the average guy who doesn't own a shop can go in and buy something like this and enjoy it, you know what I mean, and kind of have it for 10 years and be like, wow, this is like bang for the buck. You
100%.
Can't smiles for miles, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, stuff's getting so fast these days, and like just some perspective, like 5 years ago, 3.9 car would probably beat anything. Like, you know, like outside of like the Lambo GTR game, all that stuff, but like, you know, like you roll up to like a meet or like a hangout, and like a car going 3.9, like nothing's beating you.
100%.
And then to this day, probably 99% of the stuff that you roll, 99.9% of the stuff that just driving around on the street, nothing's touching a 3.9. You know?
And this is a stock motor car, so like the way this car is set up, you put a motor in this car and it makes 1,800 horsepower. With someone like me or someone capable behind the computer, it's gonna run a 3.5 all day. And then, you know, you floor it for 2 seconds and you're going to jail, you know what I mean? Like that's how crazy these things are nowadays. This car is just so emotional though. It makes you smile like a little kid.
It really, like the power delivery on this setup is super cool.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
You know? You have to be more careful with like the other setup, right? Because the lowest setting makes another 150 on top of this, you know? So you have to be a lot more careful to like not knock the tire and, you know, like, so the torque curve, it's like it's smooth and it's like very fast smooth, where this is just like all of it, you know, like back ends was a little, you know, doing a little dance game, and this thing's a blast, dude.
It is, dude.
This thing's a blast, man.
I'm glad you can enjoy it.
Hell yeah.